Hey guys. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to the jungle. That's kind of the vibe that I just. How's everyone feeling? I see that Eric is in here already going through the comments, which I appreciate so much. Franklin will be joining us tonight. You guys gave me a heart or a, hey, yo, we can hear you if you can hear me, because I'm working with my headphones today. Love that noise canceling. Love it. Okay. Pauline says the dog is here. The little gypsy, good to see you again, says, okay, some hearts. Okay, good. Everyone can hear me. That makes me feel really, really good to know that all is well. Let me go ahead and put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Okay, Rain says, hey, yo, I hear you. Wonderful. Perfect. Thank you. Tiara says, the audio is not the best, to be honest. Probably not. Yo, we are lackluster at best with our devices. We do the best that we can, but we do not have the best resources to work with. And by we, I mean me. I don't have one of those ASMR microphones, so I'm going to be working with my headphones for right now. Hopefully one day soon I'll get one of those more professional microphones. Okay, good to see that you guys are here. Owen says, I hear you great. That's wonderful. Perfect. Franklin's going to be joining us. He's been very much by my side for, thank you so much. I so much appreciate the super chat. She says, you've changed my life. Well, I love you. Thank you. Thank you. You've changed mine. All of this has changed my life. Whoa, I just saw our numbers. We're at 353 people already in attendance so far. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Eric is giving a thumbs up, so everything is all good on his end. And that is good. That is good to see that. If you can, take a moment to thumbs up this video. Everything is done for free for the most part, outside of the ads that play over this later on. So that's a really good way to help me right now, being able to spend my time and dedicate my time, is just taking a moment to give this video a thumbs up, liking it. Even if you give it a thumbs down, I personally am a perfectionist, so I would prefer a thumbs up. But even giving my videos and my work a thumbs down still gives it attention, and YouTube loves to see the attention. So as long as you guys are giving that thumbs up, I really appreciate that. And in the meantime, I'm going to get these cards ready. I don't know why, because we have a lot of stuff to discuss, but I'm really feeling called to work with the tarot. What's the matter, baby? You okay? You getting comfortable? I'm really feeling called to work with the tarot today. I've noticed that my sensitivities are heightened today. I don't know if you guys are feeling that as well. But usually when that happens, it's because I'm just working. Like my vibes are just connected. Everything is, I don't want to say open, not to anything negative or anything like that, but it's easier for me to download. At the same time, I can be a bit more sensitive. I could be a bit more emotional. I cry at the drop of a hat. So that's what, I don't know, I feel like we have a message that we can receive, and I would like to shuffle the cards and see what we've got for this week. So hopefully you guys are cool with that. Let me know if you guys are down. Yeah, Tiffany's saying that she feels it as well. Absolutely. I just feel like, I don't know. And I have my other tarot deck here that I was going to work with, and I put it aside for now. So thank you so much to Tamara for your super chat. I really appreciate that. So really quickly, before we dive into this Astro Chat Live and we go into the details, I want to give you guys the rules because we've been growing a lot in our numbers. Basically, we have Eric and Mel, who are the moderators, and pretty much what moderators are. Thank you guys so much for the super chat. What moderators are the people who protect this circle so that we can all focus. Eric's job and his responsibility, because Eric is the main one in here tonight, is to make sure that comments are respectful, that everyone is being respected. His job is to protect every single one of us So that is literally there. His job is there, and I legit make sure that he's there so that you guys don't have to pay attention to the comments that are going through, that you can receive all of what it is that is given to you during this hour, this time, this 1 hour time. This is not only is it there to protect this circle and to protect this space as people can come in and to go out, but it's to give you guys, to allow you guys to feel comfortable and allow you guys to focus. There's a common theme that occurs during these chats, and that is you are given an option. The option is to take whatever challenges, or good or bad, whatever things are going on in your life, and turn them into something way better, or to succumb to it later on in the week. And the point of these super chats, or the point of these Astro chats, is to keep you strong, to keep you vibrant, to keep you focused, and to help you to evolve. So Eric just put the stars there, which I love. But he's there legit to create this force field. And without that, it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to derail. Okay? So if you ever find yourself, I know that it can be a lot. If you ever find yourself drawn to the comments or reading the comments, I just want to invite you to focus on me, to pay attention to me and these messages. Usually what happens, especially in our type of group, we all have our own unique intuitive gifts. Having someone else, speak on certain things. Are you comfortable, Baba? Having someone else speak on certain things can trigger certain things within your own intuition, certain signs, certain things that you need to hear, certain synchronicities. And you'll miss that if you're focusing on the wrong things. So just allow this to be a space where, again, this is your time. You do with it what you will, and you're able to give. If you do find yourself drawn to some comments, I'm seeing everyone wishing Priscilla happy birthday. So happy birthday, happy solar return. If you do find yourself drawn to support each other, by all means do that with love and light and grace for each other. One thing that I do allow is curse words. You're allowed to curse. My favorite curse word is the F-bomb. I like to sprinkle it around. I don't want to say on occasion, but pretty often. So those things, that using the F-bomb or anything like that, saying the word fuck, shit, all that other stuff, that's totally allowed. Just make sure that you're not doing it in a way that's disrespectful to me, to anyone else, to you. Okay, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, I got a notification. I really appreciate that. There's this message I need to hear too. Absolutely. We are definitely going to be shuffling the tarot this afternoon. The one thing that I will say, the only thing that really makes me uncomfortable, everyone's like, fuck yeah. No, the one thing that makes me uncomfortable, that makes me feel good, is knowing that you guys are able to drop the F-bomb. This is a safe space. So the only thing that makes me uncomfortable, I will say, is when people make sexual comments towards me or anything about dating or anything like that. That's the only thing that I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it, outside of the fact that I'm a Virgo and I'm usually not interested in anyone. Let's be honest. Virgos, where are you at? Outside of the fact that I'm a Virgo, I just don't personally, this to me is a sacred time. This is my work, and I'm not trying to have anybody look at me in any type of way, in that way. So just keep those comments. That will also get you blocked. I'm just putting down my boundaries so you guys know where it is that I stand, what it is that I like, what it is that I don't like. The replay will be up for you guys on the YouTube channel. So if you aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel, I'm going to go ahead and invite you. And if you're watching from the future later on, what's up? What's it like? Did I miss out on anything? What has occurred? What has happened? All right. So I do have my calendar here, my notes, my iPad, and this orange citrine, I think, or is it orange calcite? I can't remember. What is this crystal, you guys? I can't remember what this is that I have here. I do have that here. But let's go ahead and start with the tarot, shall we? I want you guys to focus. How do I want to do this? Yes, I want us to focus. I want us to focus on a question. Something that you need to hear, something that you need to receive. If there's something that's been plaguing you, if there's something that's been on your mind, this is that time. Even if it's something that you would normally, if we could have our time together, if we could just shuffle, or that I could shuffle for you, and you'd be like, if I could have one question answered by Jess, I would have it be this. Don't let that be your question. Let it be something that you know in your spirit that you need to receive right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and start focusing on that. It's the one thing that you might not even think that is, that you know that you need to receive, that you might need to hear. But Spirit is clearly telling you tonight that you need to receive this. I'm a little, I don't want to say nervous. I just find it so interesting. What I will say, right from the jump, this is so interesting. Right from the jump, I'm getting a visualization of, there was a spot that I used to go to before I was living on my own. I used to go with my friends and we would go fishing there, and we would go catfishing. And it was a lake. It wasn't really a lake. It was like a smaller pond, I guess. And I just remember sitting there, like for some reason I'm getting drawn back to that visualization right now. Oh, whoa, these cards just jumped out. We'll talk about that. Something is definitely happening here. I don't know if you guys saw the new moon video that I just uploaded. Okay, let's see. Let me see here right now. Oh, right now, Bob. Yeah, it's so interesting. I'm like clearly getting drawn back to this one spot. And basically what we would do is we would go here, my friends and I. We didn't have a whole lot. We didn't have like money or anything like that. Most of us didn't really even have jobs. And we would just go in our little squad, and we would just sit and we would dangle our legs over the cement. We would have hot dogs, like old hot dogs that we were using for bait at the time. And for those of you guys that think that it's animal cruelty, I agree with you. I'm just I'm just saying what it is that I'm seeing right now. And there's a time in my life where I went fishing, and I enjoyed the time that it was that I was spending with my friends that felt like family at the time. So if you are offended by this, I understand, but this is not meant to offend anyone. What I'm getting from this more is something about the feeling of what's at the bottom of the pond, and whatever it is at the bottom of the pond, you don't know. I don't know why this is coming through. I'm just sharing with you guys what it is I'm seeing and what I'm feeling. But whatever it is at the bottom of the pond, you would never know. Like you're waiting, you could be waiting for it, but in the meantime, you wait and you enjoy whatever it is that you might pull up, whatever it is that you might catch, whatever it is that it's not even about that. Like you're there for that, but it's not even about that. It's the time, it's the quality, it's the peace of mind, it's the luxury of not having to think about anything, not having to do anything, not having to catch the biggest fish or be at a job or answer your phone. It was a time before we were even on our phones like that. It was just about being in the present moment, the simplicity of it, needing nothing more, needing nothing less. It's about being in fresh air. It's about dangling your feet and feeling weightless. These are some feelings that it is that I'm getting right now. And I feel as though whatever it was that you focused on, it's almost as if Spirit is guiding you not to get to this goal. I find it so interesting that the visualization that I got is the fishing was the time that we went fishing, because yeah, we were going fishing, but we weren't really going fishing to go fishing. We were out there to spend time with each other. We were out there to ground ourselves. And sometimes there would be a funny moment. Sometimes we would catch a fish. Sometimes we would eat a snack, but we were there. That was our space. And that's what's coming through. That's the main message. I feel as though right now, Spirit is really guiding us to take. Some of you guys are really in your heads. At the root of this reading is the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is, it's a person who's thinking a lot. They're worrying, what's next? What else is going to happen? What am I working to achieve? Where are we going? What is out there? Do I have the right stuff? Do I have the right materials? Is everyone here? Who's missing? And Spirit is just like clearly saying right now, it's not about that. Whatever it was that you're focusing on, it's not even about that right now. It's about this moment, this time, this, don't even look for me. I'm almost getting a sense of, I'll find you. Don't look for me. I'm going to find you. I'll meet you there. I know where you're at. If someone's looking for you, they know 3 out of 4 spots to check. And if you don't have to be available, you don't have to tell people where you're at. They will know. If they're meant to be there, they will know. If they check spot number 1, if they check spot number 3, if they check spot number 4 and you're not there, they'll find you at number 2. Or whatever the number is. I just feel like there's this rearrangement. And I think some of you guys need to hear right now, some of you guys feel like you're going to be missed. They're not going to find you. It's not going to happen. You have to no, you don't have to do anything. You really don't have to do anything. There's also, I don't know why this is coming through, but I'm watching how the water in this pond, this is a really funny visual. But I'm watching this water in the pond. It goes from being dirty. It goes from being really dirty, and I'm watching it become clear. It's like gaining clarity. And I feel as though that's clear. I feel that's really strong in my spirit right now. It's like confirmation that it's like something is coming in. It's like, don't watch who's missing. Don't look for who's missing. Don't look for, keep throwing your hook in, keep putting the right bait. Do I have the right bait? You're here right now to observe this cleansing process. Everything is meant to be cleansed. Everything is meant to be made pure again. I'm also seeing, I'm like almost hearing it. I'm also hearing like, you're being made pure, like you're being touched, meaning that, and if you actually sit with it, if you actually sit and dangle, and like watching someone and watching me, because it's like this visual, like that's the vision. If you actually sit and let yourself just kind of let your feet kind of dangle, you won't be missed by it. It's almost as if some of you guys are really expecting to take this leap of faith, make this big move, make this big shift. And it almost feels as though just by sitting and just dangling your feet, like waiting, you're then touched and you're made clean again. It's like a true lifting of your spirit. You didn't even realize that you were carrying this burden, this weight, this stress, this pressure of whatever it is. It could be hurt. It could be expectations. It could be a list of things that you need to do, a laundry list of things that you need to do. It could be things that you need to check off your list in order for you to receive this blessing, in order for you to receive the woman of your dreams, whatever the case is. And Spirit is saying, I was planning on actually bringing it to you, but I just need you to be here. I'm also, sorry guys, this is the last thing I think. I'm also getting a sense that there's this direction, that if you are not in the right place at the right time, you will be put there. For some of you guys, do you need more attention? Okay, come. For some of you guys, you're trying to formulate in your brain, 8 of Swords. Sometimes this is an anxiety. Sometimes this is over planning, overthinking, overcompensating for certain things. You will be put at the right place at the right time. At the very top of this reading, I feel like I'm ready to show these cards. At the very top of this reading, we have the Star card. which is bringing me back to the visualization of this dirty water, dirty, mucky, it's pond water, it's not swamp water, that is meant to be cleansed, meant to be cleaned, meant to be fresh. And the only way for that to happen is through this dangling of the legs moment. I don't know what that is, but we'll find out. And then the Two of Cups is here. Two of Cups is reversed. I don't know if you guys saw the video that I just posted on my YouTube channel like 30 minutes ago, but it's the Gemini New Moon. I go into full detail on the Gemini New Moon. Don't click out. It's up there for you to watch later on. But it's so interesting. It's the energy of twin flames. People or things. I want you guys to take all of what it is that you know about twin flame stuff and just throw it out temporarily. But what I mean by twin flame is the energy that matches your own. The thing that it is that you need to connect with. It is different for everyone, but for a lot of you guys, I'm definitely seeing this connection to relationships. Especially with the Two of Cups here. But I'm getting a sense of deep spiritual healing that is occurring in relationships that have felt broken. People without partners, people who are in relationships and they keep missing the boat with each other. They just can't get it right. It's kind of reminding me of what it was that I pulled in that chart. What is that I saw in that chart is people focusing on themselves and that healing kind of occurring. But I'm also seeing this. I keep seeing people dangling their feet. I don't know why. I think it means to stop moving. Okay, so this is the first set of cards that jumped out is the Ten of Cups, the Magician, and the Nine of Wands reversed. This Nine of Wands reversed is actively being forced. This is what I'm seeing. Actively being forced by the universe to just give up. And that's not exactly what it is that you might have wanted to. This could be, and I just feel as though by giving up, by you not carrying it anymore, by you not doing all of the things, whatever it is that was on that list, you are then called again to kind of enter into the space of like unlimited fulfillment. Like that's the word that I'm getting is fulfillment, manifest destiny, like your destiny manifesting. I want to see what's going on here. Okay, so right. Some of you guys are really hung up on worst case scenario situations. Some of you guys you're not feeling anxious, but it's more of it's like it's not even agitation. Some of you guys are just very active planning. Some of you guys are very much, I'm focused. There's only one, like I'm doing this, I'm doing like here. If it doesn't fit in with this, it doesn't fit. And I'm getting this sense from Spirit that I really need you to kind of dangle your feet, like, Hanged Man. That's why. Pink Princess says, Jess, what's up? Okay. Next cards that I want to pull over, the Hermit card and the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is back to dangling your feet. This is putting down all of what you've been doing, all of what you can do on your own, and let your feet dangle. That's so funny. That was the vision that I got. Someone's feet dangling, and I just keep seeing that same space. Hanged Man is just total, I'm not even going to try anymore. Two of Pentacles is put it down. Nine of Wands is I'm going to force you down. What do you say to all of this? Let me go over here and look at this card. Okay, the Empress card, the King of Pentacles, both of these cards are reversed. Some of you guys are have goals to manifest, goals to push. You're like pushing too soon. You're pushing too soon. Some of you guys are like, let's say this is a metaphor. Some of you guys, you're like, well, my plan was to give birth natural. And then when stuff starts happening and you've waited long past, the doctors, medical professionals are telling you from experience that I know that was your plan, but if the baby stays in there for too long now, If you stay in this space for too long, it's going to be dangerous. We're going to enter into red zone. I know that that was your plan, but we have to induce labor. You bouncing around on the ball, or you doing whatever it is that you're trying to do in order to get this child out to match your plans is not the plan. And Spirit is like, legit, that the call is happening in order to create this healing. So for some of you guys, you're doing it too soon. For others, you're laboring for too long in a certain situation. And everything is happening right now. I'm almost getting with the King of Pentacles. You don't trust. This is bigger than current situations. This is larger. You don't trust that it's going to be stable. You don't trust that it's going to happen. Some of you, I usually get this sense of it's too soon. A lot of you guys, you're like, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. Like, literally, Spirit has said, if you had given it to me, it would have already manifested by now. It would have already, if you would have followed the rules, my rules, it would have already happened. It would have already been conjured up. It would have already been happily ever after. Literally, 10 of Cups, happily ever after. Magician card is the first set in this series. This is like Spirit is literally clearly saying that this would have already been happened. And at the very center of this reading, yes, there's a movement forward. 6 of Swords, the Sun card reversed. It's true. This is truly, I'm also getting thinning, like thinning of the ice, meaning that things are thawing out. I don't know why I said thinning. It's thawing, like thawing of the ice. The ice is getting thawed out. And that's when you would think, well, once this thaws out, all I know is this temperature. All I know is this way. All I know is this life. This to me it's just happening right on time. Once this temperature starts thinning, warming up, you would be so surprised. That's when life starts stirring back again. That's when fish can move. That's when flowers can bud. That's when the climate starts to change, but in a way that is better, for growing. Okay, look at this. 2 of Swords, kind of been stuck in a stalemate situation. 4 of Wands is the family. 7 of Pentacles is that pregnancy metaphor coming through. Once again, 4 of Wands is family support, stability, and also a lot of people are connecting that to the twin flames. Emperor is here. King of Wands is also here, and also the Queen of Cups. I just feel like all of this energy is so ripe. It's so ready. There's no youngness here. There's nothing here that is showing me that the energy isn't ready. It's literally what I've been saying. It's been over ripened. It's been ready. It's mature. It's there. It's present. I'm just getting this sense that in order for you guys to link up, you just have to pause. The Star card says you following the stars, you following the astrology, you following your North Star. It's not always going to show up in the way that you think it is, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to get you to that destination. And Spirit is clearly saying that whatever it was that you're focusing on, it's already past its due date, and we are trying to birth it in now. But work with us, please. Work with us. You're not working with us. Sometimes the way to work with someone is to let your feet dangle and let them come to you. If they'll check the different locations and they'll find you where you're at. You're not going to be missed. The timing of this was yesterday. Like, the timing of this it's been in the works. If you guys feel as though you don't think it's going to happen, I'm talking to you and you feel like you're like, I just don't see it happening, Jess, you have to pray about it. You have to set intention. That's about that new moon, because you have to invite Spirit in. Spirit is saying that same thing that you're talking about is the same thing that needs a healing. The same thing that says, work with us. And like, again, humans left to their own devices will mess things up again and again and again. But when you factor in not just the physical aspect of your reality, the tangible things that you can see, and you embrace the spiritual side of your existence and your power, that's when true miracles can unfold. But the only way that you can do that is truly if you dangle your feet. For those of you guys who are like, Jess, I'm missing it. What does dangling your feet mean? That means let go and let God, or divine, or the universe, or check the astrology chart. Speaking of astrology, let's go ahead and dive into this week's astrology. I hope you guys, does that make sense for you guys? I hope that message resonates. Let me go ahead and scroll through some of these comments. Alexa says, I'm currently in a pregnancy and scared. Does that 7 of Pentacles mean this? 7 of Coins, 7 of Pentacles, which is what you're referring to, is that spot where you've gone as far as you can go before something else has to come in and kind of make a little shift. And that doesn't mean that anything that you've done is wrong. It just means that you've gone as far as you can along in your journey, along in your pregnancy, before someone has to come through and say, all right, cool, now we're going to help you through the final stages. The 8 of Pentacles is when you're laboring and you're actually doing the work in order to physically push out the baby. 9 of Pentacles is when the baby is emerging and you have that moment together. 10 of Pentacles is bringing the baby home. You're at 7 of Pentacles. So even though Pentacles is connected to tangibles, if you're part of the Sacred Circle Tarot School, we talk about numerology all the time and the symbolism of numerology and what Pentacles represents. It represents actual physical, tangible evidence. So this is what you can see so far. It's not just money. It's not just coin. It's physical things that you could see. The fact that I have a dog, the fact that I have my headphones in, the fact that I have my family or my friends around. Those are physical, tangible things. Emotions are connected to cups. So those are things that we feel. So that's a common thing that people make. Is that Alvin? But thank you so much for your super chat, my love. But that's a common mistake that people make in tarot realms where they're like, oh, Pentacles only means coins. It only means paper. It only means like money. And that is not the case. It could be anything tangible, evidential that you could put your hands on that has manifested. Kayla's saying in big, bold letters, so screaming at me energetically, just how do you dangle your feet mentally? That means that you just take every thought that comes through and you say, I give it back. I give it back to spirit. I give it back to my higher self. I give it to the divine to sort out. I give it to Saturn to rework and iron it out for me. I give it to Pluto. This thought that is I'm thinking about, this thing that is that I'm having the most issue with, this plan that is that I have for myself, I am going to just give it to Saturn, give it to Pluto, give it to Jupiter to fix it all out for me. I'm not going to expect an outcome. I'm not going to expect anything other than just saying like, this is ultimately what is it I want for myself. But at the end of the day, I trust you. I trust that you're going to take me down that bridge. I can't see what's underneath me. I can't see what's above me. I'm hoping for what's ahead of me. But I know that if you're ow, I keep biting my tongue. If you're taking me here, it'll be okay, and I will be okay. That's how you dangle your feet mentally. All right? If you guys are talking about relationships, how do you dangle your feet in relationships? The same things that piss you off, the same in your partnerships, the same things that make you upset, you just say, I'm just going to give it to God, give it to the divine. Normally, you might attack your partner. Normally, you might address your children and tell them to do better. But this day, this time, this week, you dangle your feet and you say, you know what? I'm not going to fight this battle. And by not fighting that battle, you allow spirit to take over. And the way that you let spirit take over and fight for you is by asking spirit for exactly what is it you would like to see, but also be open to receiving what spirit has in store for you. And the same thing happens when you're working with your astrology chart. Now, having said that, you guys, let's go ahead and dive into Astro Chat because so many of you guys are here for astrology. And if I don't talk about astrology for this week ahead, you will drag me on the internet. And if you don't drag me on the internet, you will curse me silently when we get off and be like, God damn it, Jess, I'm disappointed because we didn't talk about astrology. So we are going to talk about astrology now. There's a sense of restlessness that's going to come through, and that's going to be happening on the 20th. This is more, the reason why this is because the sun is going to be moving into the sign of Gemini. Sun is our ego, it's our life energy, all right? It's where all of us are collectively at that moment. Meanwhile, we have Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus. All of those planets are currently retrograde. Not only are these planets retrograde right now, but the fact that they're retrograde is just revealing and bringing back issues long before just this year, long before last year, 2019, trickling into 2020, and then some. Some of these issues that you guys have been dealing with are so serious, they're so severe, they're so heavy. These issues have come from your generation, generational stuff, generational baggage. That's how deep these issues go. That's one thing that I am seeing is that all of these astrologers on the internet, they're only talking about Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, Venus retrograde in the present moment, totally skimming over the severity of how the intensity of this reevaluation, this restructuring that goes way deeper than the present moment. And by present moment, I don't mean just today. I mean the years surrounding this. It goes so much deeper than that. These are issues. Iana says, I can relate to this. Good, perfect. Rena A says, you are spot on tonight. Always. But thank you. These issues are cemented and have been established since, for most of us, before our time, before our mothers and fathers' time, before their time. It goes so deep. Look at how our government and how our way of life is taking one 1-2 punch by one trigger. This is a combination of what has been happening here that I've been talking about since years ago, like 5 years ago, right? And even then, I just remember Spirit telling me to be like, buckle up. And I'm like, what the hell do I do with that information? Buckle up? I can't save the whole world. I'm only one Black female, and I'm tiny at that. And I have a high-pitched, squeaky nasal voice. No one's going to take me seriously. And Spirit was like, girl, I didn't ask you to do all that. I didn't ask you to save the world. I just asked you to live your purpose. That's how you fulfill what, the way that is that you will help. And you have 1,000 people. I have 1,000 people following right now. 478 likes. So go ahead and like this video while you're at it. But there's how many people following me? 1,000 of you so far, 1,000 plus of you so far are going to take whatever it is that is stirring within you and spread that to your friends. Whatever this conversation is being given to you now, whatever is your spirit is being filled with right now, you're going to take that and you're going to then share that with someone else, share that with your friends, share that with the bus driver, share that with your employees or your coworkers or whoever. And it all is a trickle effect. That's how we make a difference. This energy has been building for so long. Your expectation to just in one swoop, in 1 year, to destroy it, release it by doing shadow work, all of those things, by doing past life regressions, that is an expectation that is unrealistic. It's not that it can't be done. It's just imagine what it would take from you in order to do all of that in 1 year, in one retrograde cycle, in a few months. It's not healthy. It's not supported. There are aspects of you guys that does need rest. And what I'm seeing during this time is this space starting on the 20th, where you're going to feel agitation. This is partly because the sun is moving into the sign of Gemini. But it's more than that. It's the entire chart. It's the fact that these planets have been retrograde and going backwards. They're revisiting they're retracing their steps. They're revealing certain aspects, certain blockages, and giving you the idea to consider doing research on making it better, doing research and asking yourself questions to make yourself feel better, to help you to better understand yourself, for you to deepen your connections with other people. And it's small baby steps. It doesn't ask for perfection. It doesn't ask you to be a master. Some of you guys that are the things that it is that are being reworked now and that are going to continue happening for you, you guys are expecting to be the master of it and getting frustrated that you're not the master of it overnight. You're getting frustrated in your progress and saying, well, why haven't I perfected it? Why don't I have all the answers? Why don't I know? Because you were never designed to know. You were meant to take just what you were given, the information that you're given, and use it to fix it quickly, right? All right, I've been playing Animal Crossing and just, you know, every once in a while on the weekends. Not as much as I would like to because I've been working on candles and stuff like that. But the reason why I'm saying that is for those of you guys that know Animal Crossing, give me a heart. It's on the Nintendo Switch. But basically, you have this axe, right? And it's called the flimsy axe. And there's a reason why I'm sharing this. I promise. But it's reminding me of this. You have this, Amanda Joanne says, I love Animal Crossing. It's so relaxing. And I'm seeing a lot of hearts. Okay, so in Animal Crossing, there is a flimsy axe. And you can chop just a few amount of trees before that shit breaks. But those few trees that you chop, they help you to fulfill whatever goal it is that you're working on. Are you helping Tom Nook build the Nook's Cranny, the shop? Are you helping him build a bridge? What is it that you're working on? And some of you guys are working with a flimsy axe, the flimsy axe in Animal Crossing, and you're like, once it breaks, you're like, it's a fail. No. The goal of that moment, the goal of that tool was to help you to chop the wood to get you here. Don't forget that. So when that axe busts and you have to maybe go on another goal and build another axe for yourself, you're like, well, this seems pointless. No. Yeah, Jess says Animal Crossing is life-saving. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I am going to mention Animal Crossing more because you guys are vibing with the Animal Crossing vibes, and I love that. But the reason why I'm saying that, you guys, is because some of you guys are looking at your own process in your journey and being like, it was a flimsy axe. It fell apart when I was working with it. But it's like you're missing the point. The point of that tool was not to be in your life forever. It was there to serve its purpose. That could be a relationship. That could be your bowl of cereal in the morning. That could be your workout. That could be the walk that is that you go for with your dog. Did you have to drag your dog along the way? Was your dog barking at some random stranger? Maybe. But the point was to get your dog out to poop and to pee. Did the dog fulfill that goal? Yes. Then the walk was successful. Anything else that happens and occurs, it doesn't matter. It was a part of the journey. So that's what it is I'm seeing for you guys. And that's the energy of Gemini. I love my metaphors. Wow, I love my metaphors. Gemini works with superficial, surface level type of things. It takes just what it needs, but a lot of whatever it is that it needs. And then it helps so many people with all of the infinite source of knowledge, all of the infinite source of stuff. But Gemini is never known to be the master of any one thing. That's the Virgo. Right? That's what Virgo is there for, honey. Virgos. For those of you guys that don't know, I'm a Virgo. And don't glorify the Virgo because Virgos, we have our own issues. I can't tell you how many guys this week or last week alone have dragged me for the filth via text message because I don't respond to my text messages in a timely fashion. And that's because I'm doing my Virgo duty, my services, and they haven't earned that spot in my life. Let's be honest. So do I apologize for the fact that I'm not going to text them back right away? Absolutely not. Not going to do it. Sorry to disappoint you once again, but I told you where you'd meet me at. And if any one of you guys that I was talking to or went on a date with or was supposed to go on a date with, but I didn't respond back to your text message is watching me right now, then you could go ahead and take this message as truth and apply it personally to our situation. Because I am not, no, just kidding. No, for real though. Just being transparent moment. But anyways, yeah, I can't tell you. Anyways, I don't even know why I derailed off of that. The moral of the story is that Sun moving through Gemini, starting on the 20th, is inviting you guys to take, from that point on, superficial, lighter energy and apply it to your situation, but don't expect yourself to master it. The other thing that I want to invite you guys to receive during this chat is the fact that you have to stay so flexible and so open to all the things, right? We have Venus retrograde in the sign of Gemini. Not only can this bring in the energy of twin flames, lovers, soulmates, and that type of stuff, or just the partner, the other opposite partner. It depends on your chart how deep that connection will be. But not only will it bring in past lovers, past situations from past lives or present moment, but it's Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto are also retrograde, and they are swinging a huge generational hammer that is breaking down the foundation and has been breaking down. This is nothing new. We've been talking about this a long, long time. This has been swinging that generational hammer in order to rebuild, reconnect, mature, wisen up. I don't know why I'm hearing practice, but practice what you preach. So many of you guys have been saying for a long time, this is who I am. Meaning that you know in your spirit that you are going to be a business person. You know that you're a motivated person. You know that you're a doctor. You know that you're a whoever, a wife, a husband. But your actions don't reflect what you are saying and that you know in your spirit that you are. And it's because you haven't matured. There's an aspect of you that hasn't spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically matured in order to fulfill the truth of who it is that you are internally. And sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it takes damage. Sometimes it takes, loss, having lost something or not having access to something or someone to really grip you by your collar and tell you that it's the weight of that and the worth of that was too great for you to lose it a second time, a third time. DJ Sir One is saying, are you following me on Instagram? You look really familiar, but he says you got to walk that walk. Yes, you do. Okay, so on the 20th is also when we have that love at first sight moment. But the thing is with love at first sight is that it can be very deceiving. We have Venus squaring off with Neptune. Venus represents relationships and love and beauty, and Neptune brings the illusion. So when Venus squares off with Neptune, this is when we have, you see something or you see someone and you get kind of derailed. You get kind of disillusioned. You get kind of, led astray, like led off the wrong path. At the same time, some of you guys need that in order to float. Some of you guys need that in order to lose touch with reality because you're so grounded in this practical, realistic, this is the only way that it could happen. This is the only thing that I'm looking for. If it doesn't make this, and it could never be, and I won't allow myself to receive it, and my feelings aren't real, my feelings aren't valid, this could never last. It's all a waste. It's all this. And, or maybe that it's not going to last, but it's not going to be fun. I'm not going to like it. It's not what I want. And the thing is that sometimes you do have to be swept off of your feet. Sometimes you do have to lose touch with reality. Sometimes you have to see life in pink. Sometimes you have to be romance. Sometimes you have to invite art in. Sometimes it's good to embrace love. Sometimes you have to take time to smell the roses. All of those things are just as equally as important as you sitting behind your concrete desk with your blinds shut and focusing on the goal at hand. None of those things should be overlooked. Okay? Then we have the Gemini. We're at 10 minutes right now, but we have the Gemini New Moon. There's so much mutable energy going on this week. This hyper focus on mutable energy. And this is just telling me even more so. I mean, come on. Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, the North Node, all of them are in mutable signs, in a mutable sign energy at the time of the new moon, which is happening on the 22nd, roughly around 2 o'clock. I have the chart pulled for 1:49 p.m., but it was because I was doing a horary chart for someone else and I didn't adjust the time. For those of you guys that don't know, horary charts are when you predict the outcome of where something is going, where a relationship is headed, or whatever the case is, where you use it to find certain things. I got distracted. Sorry. I did it to myself. But yeah, it helps you to find out the outcome of like what's going to happen with something or someone or whatever. I'm so distracted right now. And yeah, and then it, what was I saying? Okay, horary charts. Horary charts is when you pull the chart for the moment in order to find out how something is going to manifest, where an item is that is lost, you know, how is it going to happen? Is there going to be a connection made? Blah, blah, blah. And basically, you look at the relationship of the planets, how they're aspecting each other, what house they're placed in. Is one planet exalted? Is one planet in fall? What's the condition of the moon? What planets is the moon going to aspect in order to watch the situation kind of unfold? But that's a totally different topic. We're talking about the full moons. But anyways, the time that I have for this chart is 1:49, so it's roughly around 2 o'clock. Because I'm seeing that the sun is at 2 degrees and the moon is at 2 degrees at that time. So I would say probably, okay, I would say 120. If looking at this, eyeballing it, I would say anywhere between 120 and 130 is the exact time of the new moon. Okay. Horary chart, for those of you guys that don't know how to spell it, it's Horay. Okay, so the new moon is happening roughly around that time. For those of you guys that want it tighter, you can pull the chart yourself. I use ASTRO.com to pull my chart. I don't use any outside resources to pull the chart. I can pretty much eyeball it and get the time roughly. That's something that I do in order to perfect my ability to perfect my timing, to get my timing really, really close, so that when I'm making predictions for my clients, when something is going to happen, oh, I'm sorry, it's PM for you guys who are asking, Eastern Standard Time. When I'm making predictions for my clients for their personal lives, it helps me to get the timing right versus having to rely on outside sources. My goal is to continue to study astrology for the rest of my life, and that's the only way that I can do that is by pulling charts all by myself. Ashley Crudup says distraction. Yeah, I got a DM, an Instagram DM, and I got distracted. Like that just now. Sorry. Natalie says, hey, Jess, I was wondering if you're still doing this tarot school. I haven't gotten a response for a few weeks. That's really interesting. The only way that you can get a response is by emailing info@bahatiLife.com. And yes, the Sacred Circle Tarot School is currently in session. We go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And whoa, Nikia says, does anyone know if getting teeth removed during Saturn retrograde is okay? Absolutely. And actually Saturn removes teeth. So that's perfect. If you can't save it, remove it. But yeah, if you haven't received a response, you're probably emailing bahatiLife@gmail.com. Don't do that. You're not going to get a response if you email that. Also, if you send DMs to my social media, you're probably not going to get a response. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get a response. It's just way too many DMs in the day. Teen Games 3 Magnet says, I guess we're not doing predictions, huh? I'm helping you plan out your week. And I just feel like that's better right now than predictions. You're so welcome, my love. But yeah, Eric is here to answer those questions. Friday, the same time that the Gemini New Moon is occurring, Mercury and Neptune are squaring off. And they're already wonky to begin with. You know, that's the time of at the new moon, but this energy is felt even now. And into the weekend and into next week. Because Mercury moves fast, but not fast enough. And Neptune definitely takes its time. So basically, this is when this shows up. It's so important that, again, you stay flexible. It's so important that you realize other people, even if they're not following and tuning into Astro Chat Live, they're still under the same influence that you guys are under. The only difference is that you guys understand what's happening and they don't. So invite your friends to the next Astro Chat Live. So they're under the same influence where, if by flexible, they're not trying to make any commitments. They're not trying to nail themselves down. They're not trying to cement things. They're not trying to solidify stuff. Even if you guys are trying to solidify things because you're like, you know, I want this for myself, you're beating your head up against a brick wall. And then for those of you guys that are going to fight me on the internet and, you know, push back at my thinking, which is fine, you're going and say like, what about Jupiter in Capricorn? What about Pluto in Capricorn? Capricorn is Earth energy. It's solid. Okay. The planet that rules Capricorn is Saturn, retrograde. That means that the energy of what should be solid is currently being broken down and reevaluated, and it's being put in a standstill and being reworked. Jupiter, yeah, it's in Capricorn, but it's also retrograde. Pluto, yeah, it's in Capricorn, but it's also retrograde. So anything that you're trying to create that, okay, then let's look at this other Earth sign. The other Earth sign is Taurus. Uranus is sitting in a sign of Taurus. Uranus is the planet of breaking everything down, totally revamping it, totally revitalizing it, surprises, erratic changes, like twists and turns around every corner. Nothing should be super solid right now. There's not enough energy right now on the planets to support that. So instead of you guys being like, well, why can't I find predictability and structure? I want you guys to ask yourself, why are you beating your head up against a brick wall when the energy is clearly saying that nothing is meant to be predictable? You're meant to be flexible. Everything within this chart says to go with the flow. You want to talk about Mars? Mars is swimming through Pisces and just feeling super directionless. Normally, Mars is like this. Right now, it's like, if it was in a pool, it would be like, I don't even know right now. Like, am I on drugs? Like, Mars is really doing its own thing. Nothing right now is solid. Nothing right now is stable. And I think that the only thing that you can truly count on is the fact that the universe will pull you to the right place at the right time. The vertex point is sitting in Capricorn, but the vertex point is like a theory, a concept. It's not a tangible thing. We could see Pluto in the camera, like out on, you know, the satellite, but we won't be able to see the vertex point. It's a concept. But that concept represents fated encounters. When that point gets triggered, that's when you meet fated people. The vertex point is sitting in the sign of Capricorn, pulling you to the right place at the right time for your longevity, for your health, for long-lasting commitment. But in order for that to happen, you guys have to dangle your feet. You have to relax. You have to ease up. You have to be open, adapting. You have to be open to changing. You have to realize that everyone's changing their minds. Nothing is constant. And that's the way that it should be, because this is new energy. It's new healing. Right. So instead of you being like, you lied, getting mad at people. I'm sorry, Franklin, that's not me yelling at you. Instead of yelling at people and being like, why are you always lying? You're lying. Just realize that maybe they didn't know any better. Maybe they were scared. We're not making it permissive. We're not saying that it was okay. We're just realizing that you knew ahead of time that anybody's promises were going to pass. For those of you guys that are talking to people during this coronavirus, chatting or anything else like that, don't put pressure on them for relationships or labels or anything like that. It's probably not going to happen. For those of you guys that are looking for jobs, looking for careers, explore your options. For those of you guys that are having problems in your career and problems in your jobs, explore all the different things. For those of you guys that are waiting on orders, be patient. Literally, the the Postal Service itself is in a $1 trillion or $1 billion hole, and everything is slowed down in order to save people's lives right now, in order to give people the resources that they need. So the same expedited things are just not, it's not going to happen. It's not realistic. It can't be done. There's one thing to hope that to be your intention, and there's another thing to just be like, it's just not possible. So just lift your feet up and be easy, and you will get more with that. Okay? Empowering Pisces says, dangle your damn legs. Exactly. Sorry, Franklin swears I'm yelling at him. All right, you guys. So one thing that I did in order to I keep getting distracted. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, when I do readings and stuff like that, like my brain just gone. I've always been that way since I was a kid. Alicia says, can you simplify retrogrades for beginners? Absolutely, but for the most part, I have a lot of retrograde videos. Videos on each of the planets retrograde on my YouTube channel. You can go ahead and check that out. As a result of me working with you guys and trying to be flexible with you, I have opened up a reservation for the Gemini pre-order. All right. The Gemini New Moon, for those of you guys that don't know, I do intention oils, custom intention oils from my home apothecary, home workspace. And but now, since I've been here in Florida, I actually do most of all of my work in the oils outside. It's just so interesting. It's so funny how my energy changes and where I feel more comfortable working, and just how my magic kind of changes, how things kind of manifest themselves. But the Gemini pre-order oils, instead of it being a day before the new moon, which is going to be happening on the 22nd, they're open now. So this is to help for those of you guys that are just like so annoyed and so frustrated and sending emails saying, well, every time I want something, it's sold out, especially when it comes to custom oils. You're saying that, you know, it's once in a lifetime. This is something that's special for you, and you miss it because your alarm was off or because I did it, whatever the case is. So right now you have a week to reserve it, a week to think about your intentions before it is actually created. And I promised you guys 2 weeks ago, I think, or 3 weeks ago, I can't remember, that on this day, on the 18th, that's the process, that it would open up on the 18th. It's been open up all day. Some of you guys did set your alarms. You guys did put the alerts in your calendars, and you were alerted to it. So I already saw that you guys had your intentions already ready. Some of you guys have a birthday on that day, and that's why I saw that too, because I was working on fulfilling the candles, which are starting to go out. But yeah, that the pre-order is up for you. Now you can start to reserve it. You do not have to rush through this process. I've already factored in. This is going to help take off the pressure of everything happening in at one time. So this helps me to plan out how many bottles it is that I'm going to need, how many boxes do I need to ship, how do I need to get that to Eric so that he can ship them out, because if I do it all from here, it just ends up being messed up. I have dyslexia, runs in my family. If shipping things out is not my strong point. Neither is answering emails. I do the intention, I do the creation, I do the astrology chart stuff. I'm too much of a My dad always says that I can't walk and chew gum, and he's correct because my head's in the clouds and I can't do two things at one time. So that has always been my process, but this takes it off of the pressure of you guys doing that mad dash. It gives me a full week to continue to build up and check in our numbers and check in on what's happening, get myself ready, and then we can chip out a lot faster than it was before. Jordan Brown says, how do we use intention oil? I have it listed on my website. You can use it to anoint yourself. You can use it to anoint certain things. That's how I make all my billions and trillions of dollars. I'm just kidding, but you got to speak it into existence. Let's say you want to bless and protect your dog. You could do that. If you want to protect, like I use the goddess oil every single day, and you can't tell me that I don't look like a goddess. I literally credit the goddess oil. It also helps me to slow my roll. It helps me to be more open to receiving blessings for myself. That's something that I struggled with all of my life. And the goddess oil helps me to fulfill that feminine aspect of my life, that space that it was that I need healing with, and I still need healing on, and I work on it every day. That's the intention of that oil. That's why I work with it all the time. My next thing is my fertility oil or my money oil that I use in order to grow prosperous situations, abundance. My relationships with my friends, I give it to them as a gift. I set intention over that. They put it on their skin. They wear it on their body. They put it in their hair, and it's literally a blessing. It's set intention for that to be a blessing, that everything that they touch, that it grow, that it be abundant. Not just anything, but the right things, the things that are beautiful, the things that will help you to thrive, the things that will help you feel vibrant, that will give you life, that will give you vitality, give you creativity, give you whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, but from a higher vibration. That's what it is that you can receive in those oils. My grounding oil, I will put it on my feet. I can do that on my nightly walks with Franklin. I put it on the root of my feet, the center of my foot, right here in the center. And that helps me to ground at the very end of the day. And the goddess is right before I go to bed. You can put prophetic oil on your third eye. I have many clients. This is so interesting. But they were putting that also at the base of their foot, and they were pulling messages. That hasn't worked for me personally, but there were so many people saying the same thing. So I was like, do it, continue to do it. And I share that with you guys. I don't know why it doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. But yeah, absolutely. Michael B is saying, how do you use them? The instructions for that are on my website. So you can go ahead and visit bahadilife.com. And there's instructions. I think it's on how to use the oils, or in the apothecary, it's how to use the oils. So you'll be able to see that. Okay, I'm starting to see some of you guys are actually reserving them right now. If you do reserve them, you guys take your time. There's no rush. There's no rush. Okay, so what else? So that's how you use the oils. You can put them on candles to anoint your candles, like 7-day candles. Yeah, there is a shop update on Thursday at 1:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's for all of the oils. But this Gemini New Moon is the one that I promised you guys that I would make available because it's custom. It's one time, one and done. If you don't do it that time, then you're not going to be able to do it. If this new moon is something special for you, if you have clarity during this live chat, this Astro Chat live, if you have clarity during this week of things that it is that you want to manifest for yourself, or things that it is that you saw, that's a great time to take this feeling right now, to write it down and to put it into an intention, to put it into an oil, whether you do it for yourself or I do it for you, but all of it will be made available. And for those of you guys that don't know what is it I'm working on currently, I'm packing up the 7-day candles. I don't have any here right now, which is my fault. Oh, this is just the hair serum. But I don't have any 7-day candles here, but I know, baby, we're almost done. If every one of them is completely counted for, and that's what I've been working on quietly. People are asking me, Jess, why aren't you on social media? Because I've been, I've been working on that. Let me show you. I bought this book from CVS, and the pages rip out so well. I've been writing down a lot of you guys' intentions and ripping them out. You can't tell because it seems like full, but it's not. I've been ripping the pages out as I was moving through you guys' 7-day candles. Yeah, and I have them folded up, and I've been burning them. I've been like legit. I've been burning them. So when you reserve that, just realize, and then you can get your own candle when you get it, and it comes with instructions, and I'll show you. I'll tell you how to do that in your box when you receive it. For those of you guys that did reserve. Mother Nature says, do you have any mods, lovely? I sure do. Eric is here right now, and Mel is taking a break tonight. All right. So, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and head off. If you guys have any questions about anything that we talked about tonight, you can go ahead and send them over at info@Bahati Life. Eric is working tonight, I think, to answer any emails. He's also been answering all emails so much. I'm not open to personal readings right now because I'm working on you guys' personal intentions, and that's just been my goal. I'm not going to do readings for right now. My goal is to really help us to manifest, to heal. That my main, I know you hate that so much. My main goal lately has been the Healing Waters candle because I'm just so inspired by it. It's about just total healing, total release. And as I'm looking at it, the clock is 1:11, so that's my time to go. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Say bye, Franklin. Tell everybody bye.